Alrighty, now in this video we're gonna start creating our notifications, and we're gonna start with this following, like new follower notification. So real quick, let's go back to our code. In here in the terminal, let's open a new interface. Right here, let's create PHP artisan make notification. You can say new follower notification. Alright, our notification has been created in this folder right here. Notification, this one. Now with here, we're going to pass a user model, which is the one who follows this user, or rather the one who follows the other user. So here, let's pass public user model. Please make sure it's called up here, user. All right, now after that, in here, this is get notifications delivery channel. For us, we're going to use database and also going to use broadcasting, because we want to broadcast our notification to the other user in real time, right? And after, because here right now we are working with broadcasting, we're not using queues for now. So in here at the top, you have to implement should broadcast. And so here do implement should broadcast now, because this, it will sync our notifications and also be able to process them, as we call them. Right, and then here, another thing is that here, in the to array, this is where we can pass the information we want to broadcast when we send our notifications. So we're going to pass the user ID. So here we can say it's an array. So make sure you say user ID pointed to this user ID. So that's semicolon. And this user simply comes from here, public user. Right, now after doing that, currently we do not have any notifications table installed in our database. So for that, I will simply ask you to go to the Laravel website here, go to database notifications, right? You can just search for, at least you can just search for notifications here. Yes, and after clicking there on this page, you want to go to here, database notifications right here. So when you click here, right now, the prerequisites for this is that we have to install our notifications table. So to do that, luckily for us, Laravel comes with a pre-command that we can use to install our notifications table. So you just copy this and go back to your project. In here, paste this one, PHP artisan notifications table. This is to create a migration right here in database, migrations here for notifications. And this, it will just have ID type, which is polymorphic, notifiable type, and the data. So the data that we pass in our array here is going to be saved in this data. So after doing that, now let's migrate our table, PHP artisan migrate. All right, awesome. So after doing that, now we have to actually test that this notifications works, or rather, let's implement an action that will create a notification when the user is followed. So to do that, let me close this, and here let me close everything. Now let's go to our home, and preferably please go to the home in the Livewire profile. So in here, after toggle follow, yes, right here, we want to first check if it send notification. We're going to check here first of all, if here auth here is following, this comes from the following package, it's following this user. And right here, we're guaranteed to get the auth user, since we are checking if the user is actually authenticated, otherwise abort. Right, so after that, then we're going to say this user notify. Okay, this notified comes from the user notifiable trait. Now we're going to say new follower notification, the one we just created, and here you see it's requesting the user model as a parameter. I'm going to pass also user, the one who's following. Let's add a semicolon in the end. All right, so let me just explain how this means. Here we're going to check if the user, because this is toggle, right? It's just toggling follow or unfollow. So now I'm going to check if the auth user is following this user which we are viewing for this profile. Then let's notify the user for this profile that, okay, this auth user is now following you, which is the one you're passing here. So, all right, now let's go ahead and test this to make sure that it actually works as expected. So for that, you can simply go to our website. Now right here, as you can see, I'm logged in as this user. I go to my profile, I have this user, and I'll also ask you to use incognito to log in with another user, a completely different one. So here I have another user in this other browser, or rather in this other incognito tab. All right, so for this, I am going to copy this one of these. So you can do one way or the other. Just copy the profile of one of the users and then go ahead and paste it in the other browser so that we can review the profile of the other user. Now you can see I have this follow and unfollow action here. So here I can simply type follow. You see now it's following. Actually, now after following, let's go ahead and make sure that our notification is saved in our database. So now if we go here, you see we now have this notifications table created. If I click there, awesome. Now you see here we have this notification created by this user ID that we just passed in here. Right here, this user ID. So I think that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.